Thank you very much. For all of you, with regulation comes litigation, and it's sometimes inseparable. Can each of you tell me if there is any sources of litigation that are awarded through the Equal Access of Justice funds to challenge your hydropower projects? Let's start on the left side and work our way down.
I'd need to check into that and get back to you. I'm not certain.
I'd love to know that
Yeah.
and the amounts. Yes, sir.
That would be a question that you would have to address to our power supplier. And so I do not know the answer.
Ditto. I don't know the answer to that. We could find out.
We'd like to. You, sir.
I have to.
I don't have an answer, but we could find out.
I want it.
And we would do the same, Congressman.
Grant?
Congressman, we have seen numbers. I be honest with you, I can't tell you exactly what they are, and we will send to you the copy of what we have seen for those numbers.
Part of why I bring that up is that there's a symbiotic relationship between that funding and the regulatory bodies because they work synonymously in court. So I would like to see those numbers.
We will do that.
Mr. Grant, as you know, we're going to be more specific about this, is that we've had in the Endangered Species Act, and we've reduced some of the power at the Glen Canyon Dam in regards to the humpback chub. When we reduce the flow of, increase the flow of water out of the Glen Canyon Dam, for that 5-year study, did we actually see an increase in the number of humpback chubs, or did we see something contradictory?
We did not. The only thing that has proved, we have done sediment removal or sediment replacement. We've done high flow, low flow, medium range. The only thing that has shown an increase in the humpback chub has been from mechanical harvesting of trout, which are non-native, which started around 2000 for about 3 years, and the humpback chub numbers started coming back up.
And Mr. Grant, I know that there's 2 different kinds of chubs here. How do we discern those 2 different kind of chubs?
I cannot answer that. I'll have
It's actually a dorsal fin with 7 ribs versus 6 ribs, if I'm not mistaken. That's the only identifiable aspect.
Good.
Yeah. Now, if we were to take off a line here, and I know I'm very specific about this because Arizona's got a problem. We've got deteriorating transmission lines, which is very hard to add on to, some of the worst in the United States. How do we replace that? Is there some way of replacing this lost power?
Through the transmission lines?
Well, I mean, the loss of this power from this hydroelectric output.
It would require some new construction, and those costs, of course, would be part of each of the utilities that participate. There are some utilities looking to replace transmission in the southern part of the state, but it would be through a cost factor, and that would increase the volume supply available for hydro or other power.
Now, wouldn't you say that Arizona is one of the prime areas for solar and a pretty prime spot for wind? Can they make up the difference?
Under the current structure of our hydro dams that have been there for many years, all of the power is allotted. You would have to remove some of that allotment from customers to make up the base load for supplying solar and wind.
But both those are temperamental, are they not?
They're temperamental. Sometimes the wind blows. Sometimes the sun shines most of the time, I will say that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't shine at night.
That's why I put them in that order. Well, thank you, Chairman. I'll yield back my time.